So 10 years ago, I was just starting out as a business analyst, right? I had no idea what I was doing. I made a lot of mistakes. I second-guessed myself, and I even felt like I wasn't good enough, right? But here I am 10 years later with a career that has totally changed my life. And people often ask me, Pippa, what made you grow in your career? What helped you level up? And honestly, it wasn't just knowledge. It was resilience. It was courage. It was learning to push through challenges even when I doubted myself. So today, I'm sharing how I built my career and the key mindset shifts that helped me to grow so that you can also apply them. And if you're looking for mentorship to grow in your BA career, check out my Business Analyst Mentorship program, link in the description below. So, how did I overcome my first BA job struggles? I used to think that my first BA job would be my entire career. I was scared of making mistakes. I was scared of asking the wrong questions. And honestly, I was just trying to survive, to be honest. But the truth is, your first BA job won't be your last job, right? So you don't need to have everything figured out from day one. Your first job is just the start. It's where you learn, it's where you grow, and it's where you prepare for the next opportunity. Because every role you take will add to your experience. So don't put too much pressure on yourself to get it perfect in your first job. For me, switching jobs over the years helped me to gain new skills, adapt to different industry, and ultimately to earn more money. So if you're feeling stuck in your first role, remember, you won't be there forever. Try to keep learning, keep growing, and be open to new opportunities. Now, another thing is that the biggest BA secret is it's 80% people skills and 20% technical skills, right? I used to think that being a great BA meant knowing the latest tools, writing the best project documentation, and mastering all the technical jargon. But guess what? Like I said, it's only 20% of your job because business analysis is 80% people's skills. Your success depends on how well you work with stakeholders. Communication, influence, and negotiation are way more important than knowing any specific tool, right? If you can ask the right question and navigate different personalities, you'll stand out as a business analyst. Once I started focusing on my people skills, handling difficult stakeholders, learning to present my ideas clearly, my career took off. Now, talking about stakeholders, handling stakeholder conflicts is one thing that I didn't cover in my last video where I talk about 10 lessons I've learned in 10 years of being a business analyst. So, stakeholder conflicts can make or break your BA career, right? So what changed for me is that I learned to be confident in my recommendations by backing them up with data during discussions. So instead of saying things like, I think, I started saying things like, based on our research, the best approach is X, X, and X, right? I focused on managing difficult personalities, not just gathering requirements. The better you handle resistance, the more respect you gain, and that's how you grow as a business analyst. Another thing I wish I knew earlier is that changing jobs is one of the fastest ways to grow as a business analyst, right? So if you feel stuck in your role, try to ask yourself, am I still learning? Are you still learning? Are you bored? If not, consider looking for a role that challenges you more, right? Don't fear job hopping. It's how you gain diverse experience, right? And for those asking, yes, I've worked in permanent roles and as a contractor, right? So if you want a video on how to transition into contracting, I have an existing video that you can watch, right? So stop waiting for training. You need to learn on the job, right? A lot of aspiring BAs ask me, what courses should I take first, right? But here's the reality. The best training will come from real-world projects, okay? So instead of waiting for formal training, ask to shadow senior BAs in your company. Volunteer for new projects. Say yes to challenges, even when you don't feel ready, right? I didn't learn how to map processes in a classroom. I learned by doing. So don't hold yourself back, waiting for the perfect training before you jump in. How to present like a leader and gain respect. Another career secret that helped me to grow, the best BAs are great presenters. I used to think that I could hide behind my documentation, but in reality, how you present your findings determines how much impact you make, right? So here's how I improved my presentation skills. I started practicing explaining BA concepts in simple terms like I do on this channel. I stopped relying on text-heavy slides and started using visual storytelling. I also observed how senior BAs engage stakeholders and structured their recommendations. So if you want career growth, work on your presentation skills. It's a game changer. One of the best skills I developed is process mapping. I enjoy process mapping, right? Seriously, it saved me so many times in my career. Like I said, it's a game changer because it helps you to clarify workflows fast. It makes it easier for stakeholders to understand problems, right? And it helps the teams to spot inefficiencies quickly. Okay, so early on, I used to write long documents explaining business processes, but no one read them. Then I started using simple flowcharts, and suddenly stakeholders actually engaged with my work. So if you're a BA, learn process mapping. It will make your life so much easier. Now, not all stakeholders will like you, and that's absolutely okay. When I started my career, I thought I had to make every stakeholder happy, right? I wanted to be seen as a helpful and likable BA, but I quickly realized not everyone will like you, and that's absolutely okay. Your job isn't to be liked, it's to ensure that the project succeeds, right? So some stakeholders will resist change, some will challenge your work, and some will even ignore your meetings. So again, that's just part of the job, right? Once I stopped taking resistance personally and focused on building credibility instead of seeking approval, stakeholder management became so much easier for me. Now, looking at contracting versus perm BA roles, right? Both of them have pros and cons, right? At one point, I switched from permanent BA role to contracting, and it was a game changer for me as well, but it's not for everyone. The contracting pros include higher pay, more flexibility, exposure to different industries. So it's a great way to practice your confidence. But there are some cons, which include no job security, you have to find your own clients, and you manage your own taxes and finances, which can get really complicated, right? But if you're considering contracting, be prepared to market yourself, negotiate your rates, and handle financial planning, right? But if you love variety and independence, it can be an amazing career move. I have an existing video exploring how to become a contractor, how to create your contract company. Link to watch. So what's one challenge you faced in your BA career? Drop it in the comments section. I'd love to hear your story. And if you're looking for mentorship coaching or insider tips on growing your BA career, check out my Business Analyst membership space. Link in description box. As always, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video. You never know who it might help. Till I see you in my next one. Peace.